Hi everyone, my name is Kyler Moon. I created French in Real Life, or French IRL, which you can access at FrenchIRL.com or FrenchInRealLife.com. Both will take you to this site that I have on the screen right now. Now, I want to talk through a couple of things today. So first will be how I've set up the quiz and how it works. Second will be logging in and accessing your teacher account. Now that you're a teacher, you're piloting the program, you're trying it out with your students. I'll show you what that looks like on your teacher dashboard and how to use some of those tools. And then we'll discover how to find content on site. So I have 1,300 clips from various podcasts, advertisements, songs, stories, the news. It's all on site, and I want to help you find the content and then use it with your students and help them improve with moments of immersion. That's my goal. So here we are on the site, FrenchIRL.com. This is the home page. I still have it set up where you see this kind of the overview of the site here, which means you can press this, try a free 1-minute clip. This will take you to a random quiz on site. This is what it looks like when you're not signed in. So if your students aren't signed in, if you aren't signed in, you'll see this yellow banner here. It'll say 7 left today to practice. You'll see the audio player, but it'll be grayed out. You can't touch it. And then you see the levels and the quiz itself, all the text boxes, which when you first get here and it's 100% blank, it looks a little overwhelming. You can go ahead and level it down to see different things in to see more hints or more of the transcript. And that's exactly how it's set up. So the audio will play on repeat when you're in this section of the quiz. And the levels are set up as how much of the transcript is shown to the learner or to the student. So for beginner, we show about 75% of the transcript, medium, 60%, and so on down to 100% blank, where there's absolutely no hints whatsoever, and the student would be trying to fill in as much as they could. I don't expect students to start here or even get to 100% blank. I expect them to start at beginner and then gradually work up through these levels to an advanced where it's going to be challenging, but they've already gone through it a couple of times and they're cementing it. They're cementing those words to what they're hearing. So it really is that active listening. If your students are looking for more levels, they could always go to custom and really start at, I think, if you start at, you can start with just basically one blank available, and then gradually work up to as many as you can. So that's really the structure of the quiz. Like I said, there's the levels here, what I call the levels here, which is how much of the transcript is shown. You have a hint button here. You have, before the quiz starts, you can reveal everything to see what's actually written there, and you could clear it all. So that is the quiz in a nutshell. Obviously, I would like your students and you to log in so that you track the results and you get to see what your students are doing. So if you have them doing this in class and you see the yellow banner on their quiz, remind them to log in. And let's talk about logging in. So let's go back to the home page. This is where you end up on the home page when you first get here. Go ahead and click sign in, and you can choose your teacher account that you used. Enter your password and go ahead and click login. This will take you to your account page, which means this is the history of quizzes that you've taken. And then it'll have a place to set your password and change your name on the account and just click update. We're going to go over to the teacher dashboard. So on the top menu, you see Explore and your teacher dashboard. Go ahead and click Teacher Dashboard. And this will take you to the main part of the site for you as a teacher, which is divided into 2 sections. We have classwork and we have homework and individual work. So now that you're a teacher in the pilot, please send me a list of your students with their emails, and I'll create accounts and I'll link them to your teacher dashboard, which means when you go over to homework individual, you'll see each of your students listed here. And if you have multiple classes, they'll be linked to each class. And you'll see some broad overall data about the student. If they haven't taken any quizzes, here's what it would look like. If they have started taking quizzes, this is what it would look like. And you can click into a student who started taking quizzes, and you can see some more details about them. So like how many quizzes they've taken, the accuracy overall, their highest level that they're reaching over like on an average, the errors per quiz that you're seeing on average, and the hints per quiz on average. So there's just some average stats to give you an idea, and then you can see specifically how they did on each quiz. So if you're assigning a specific quiz, you could see and check when they did it and that they did it. And how much time they're spending on each one, how many errors they had, the hints, and then their overall accuracy, like how much they're filling in. I'll probably add some more stats in here, and then we'll eventually have some trends as well once you have enough data. So this is if you're assigning, say, a series, a podcast to your students, and they're doing it as homework, they're doing it as extra credit, or you're having them do it individually in class. This is where you'd see their stats. Now let's go over to, well, let's talk about exploring the site for content. So let's go back to the home page. So on the home page, you scroll down past the sales stuff and you get the latest audio. So these are the most recent series that I've uploaded to the site. So you can see from podcasts, you can see from advertisements, you can see another podcast, you can see more advertisements, and then even a children's story. So these are just the most recent on site, so you can kind of see what's the latest. You could go click Browse All Series. You can click it here on this button here, just underneath the Practice with Latest Audio. Or you could be at the top of the screen, and you could go to Explore All Series. And these are, again, all the podcasts, all the advertisements, everything is divided up into a specific series. And underneath that series, you can see how many clips are in it. And the full time. You can see the level that it's been assigned based on the clips that are in there. So this is a quick way to just see all the series content. You could even narrow it down and say, I only want to look at beginner content on site, and that would be that. If you go to the show all, so we're looking at this, let's go to one with more clips. So let's look at this one. This one has 77 clips over 20 minutes. Let's go to show all, and it's going to give you the full list of every clip in the series, and you can see the level here for each one. So this is beginner and slow. There's 38 words over 15 seconds, and then some are a little bit more challenging. This one, Delph, is more like a B2, I would say. It's still a slow-paced clip with 12 seconds and 30 words, but it's going to have more advanced vocab. That's what that means. So this is a quick way to just look into a series and see, all right, what kind of content are we looking at in this series? So that would be if you're looking at assigning a series, a podcast episode, an advertisement, a song, a story to your students to do individually. This is a good place to find it. Now, the other thing I want to show you is all of these are divided into individual clips, and you can explore all the clips on site by going to Explore All Clips. That takes you to this page here where you can set, I want to look at the beginner content. I want it to be about, you could choose a certain theme here, including just Canadian voices. You could choose a grammar concept that you want to focus on. You want to make sure there's numbers in the clips that you're looking at. And you could even set a pace. You could say, I want it to be slow, normal. I write normal here. That's basically like English normal. It's typically 140 to 190 words per minute. That's like a fast English pace. For French, normal French is most likely fast. It's 190 to 250 words per minute. And then when it's a French conversation or an interview that really gets popping, that really gets going and energetic, it's going to be at that very fast, rapid pace. Excuse me. So you can narrow it down by the pace there. And then let me just go ahead and say find clips. And there you go. You've got, these are beginner or start here, more easier. I mean, I say easier, it's more beginner paced vocab with numbers mentioned. So numbers are included, and there are clips that you can start to explore and say, all right, well, what about this one? How does this one look for my students? And then let's say after you've found a clip that you like or that you want to work on, you can then go to your teacher dashboard. And on the teacher dashboard, you'll see create new lesson. This is what I think of as a bell ringer exercise or some sort of listening exercise that you want to take to your students and run in class. This would be how you'd set that up. So if you were just on the Explore page, you found a series that you want to work on and a single clip in there. So let's just say for this experiment, we're just going to say it's Ballad episode 1. Excuse me. Ballad episode 1, and we're looking at clip 001. And that's going to give you, you can find it right there, and you just click it. And that immediately assigns it to that single clip. You know, you're looking at, you only want 25% blank for your students. And then the learning activity, I have two types of activity here. One is race to complete, which basically shows a leaderboard alongside the list of students so that your students are racing each other to be first to complete as much as possible. So if you think that's going to work for your students, go ahead and do that. I like it. I think it adds that kind of gamification, a fun way to play. And if you know a couple of your students are quite strong, this is a good way to have them compete head to head. Alternatively, you could take off the leaderboard, you could not show it, and that would be collab and complete, which means they're all working together to show the entire clip. So let's go ahead and choose race to complete. And then you have to just add a label. So let's say I'm using this in my French 2 classroom. So let's go ahead and create the lesson. And it says session created just below it. And then it appears right here. It says French 2. This is the one I just created. You can see that it's today. I just created this one. And let's go ahead and launch it. It's going to open in a new tab, but let me bring it back to this tab that we're sharing so you can see what it looks like. So when you launch it, you would then project this onto the screen in front of your students and make sure that you have audio enabled. And your students, if they have their own devices, they could scan this QR code if they have a camera on it, and that will bring them exactly to this view, except theirs will say student view. And there won't be an audio player, and they'll just see this. They'll just see the quiz portion, which is the transcript with the blanks. That's what they see on their devices, and they can enter in content into each of these text boxes. Alternatively, they could type FrenchIRL.com/Q/this code right here. So Q for quiz, and this code here takes them exactly to this page. So the same URL that you see here, your students will go to it. They'll see a different view. They don't have to log in. As soon as they get there, they'll enter their name. They'll be prompted to enter their name. They can enter their name, and you'll see a list of students join right here. It'll show their accuracy, which will start at 0 because they haven't entered anything in yet. And as they start typing and guessing, you'll see their accuracy change in real time. So you can hide that if you don't want the students to see that or to be overwhelmed by that. We can always turn that off if it becomes a distraction. It doesn't work for you. And here's the leaderboard that I mentioned. We chose race to complete, and the leaderboard will be shown, and there's no way to hide that. That's meant to be there as like a gamifying, get students into it. As every student in the class that signs in, as they complete a single text box, it will appear here. So when every student has completed, you will see it show up here. You know that you don't even need to talk about that one. Everyone got it. Alternatively, you as the teacher can double click on any of the text boxes here and reveal words to your students. They won't see it on their device, but they'll see it on the screen. And then you control the audio playback. You can
Bonjour à tous
and pause, and it won't loop automatically like it does in the individual. You can bring it back and reset. So this is a great way to do a little listening exercise in class for your students. I see it as a bell ringer in a high school, or just as listening practice in the classroom for 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes at the most, but aim for 5 minutes where you're just focusing on challenging students with real, authentic content. That's the goal with this. And you could even work through a series each day. You're working through a series, and eventually your students are listening to that podcast, and you can watch how their listening has changed over time. We'll be able to see that trend. So this, I think, is a really powerful tool. Again, you're going to go to your teacher dashboard to create these. And after students have joined, you'll see it as a used practice. So you know you've already been there. And then I'm going to roll out some stats as well. So you'll be able to see who joined and how they did, what was their accuracy, what were some tough words for students. That'll all be shown. You'll be able to narrow it down by the class period, the label that you've assigned, and whether or not you've done it. Another fun thing is you can, let's say you have multiple, you want to reuse this, but you want it to be a different level. Instead of going and finding it, you can just click duplicate, it will appear here, and you can reset all the details. Just give it another label, and you're good to go. So a real fun way to do that. Again, I hope that you use the Explorer to find content, and I hope that you use this Create New Lesson to create in-class lessons. And then one other thing I did want to share with you is on the home page, if you scroll past this overview, you'll see here it says title optional, audio file, choose file, and upload. This lets you upload any audio to the site. It will automatically transcribe it. It'll break it into clips. It'll set it to the quizzes. It'll all be leveled. It'll all be ready for you to use. And then you can go through and find the right clip that works. There's no ads, so there's no queuing it up on YouTube. It's ready to go right there. And you can create it as a classroom lesson as well. So all you do is choose the file. It's anything up to 30 minutes of audio. And then go ahead and click upload. It'll say uploading. And then as soon as it says processing, you're done. You don't have to do anything else. It'll take a little while for it to process, and I'll let you know once it's live on site. If this doesn't work for you, or you don't want, or if it's a YouTube video that you're hoping to upload as audio, let me know and I can create that for you. So yeah, I think there's a lot of power inside of this. The goal is to make your job creating content for your students a little bit easier, a little bit more fun, and that immersion in real authentic content can become a little bit more fun and a little bit more accessible to your students. That's really my goal with this project. And I hope that the pilot proves that to you. And thank you so much for being here. I welcome any and all feedback about what you're doing, how you're using it. Remember to log in. Remember to have your students log in with their accounts, and send me a list of your students with their names and their emails. And if you have a class assigned to them, go ahead and send that class name. I'll get them loaded up into the system. I'll have them linked to your account, so you see them right there on your teacher dashboard, and you'll be good to go to get started. So thank you. I welcome all feedback. Thank you so much. Have a great day.